Alright, I have no idea how this game's gonna go. Probably better than Bendy. But this is Pentiment. I think this is by Obsidian, who did, I think, what do they do? New Vegas? Let's do easy read fonts, huh? Well, I understand this is like a murder mystery of some sort. What? Oh. What? This is certainly a weird game for Xbox Studios to be putting out. Lingua Ignota did music for this? What? Holy shit. That's crazy. Passing Bavaria, Holy Roman Empire, April 1518. An artist's mind, an artist's sleep. And the abbot said to me, Andreas, I need you to finish the commission by the end of April. Isn't that much earlier than you were expecting? Yes, he had told me I had until the Ides of May. Asshole. And he's not going to pay you any more, is he? He has no appreciation for the cost of your sweat. The yield of labor should not be measured in coin, but in a person's satisfaction and self-improvement. That's... no, no, nuh-uh, no, 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 no. Personal satisfaction doesn't put much fur on the table, does it? How did you reply about the abbot, Andreas? I said I would do my best to get it done by the end of April. With discipline and mindfulness, you will persevere. If you don't kill yourself striving to meet that abbot's unreasonable expectations. What she said. What's the point in burning your candle to the nub for this idiot abbot's sake? Despite the abbot's ire, you must endure. Soon you will have finished both the abbot's work as well as your masterpiece. And then you will return to Nuremberg, where marriage and your new life as a master awaits. Yes, marriage to someone he's never met. Hardly ideal. Well, the alternative is becoming a philosopher. Oh, Jesus, you should definitely get married. Is she pretty, at least? The small portrait they sent was lovely, but we artists can be flatterers. Oh, who knows? That's not why I'm doing it anyways. It is growing late. The wheel of time stops for no man, Andreas. I fear you must leave us. Ah, true, your majesty. Will you visit again soon? Hopefully, but it's out of my control. As are many things. Trust in Providence. Grobian, please see Andreas safely home. Of course, your majesty. Until next time, Andreas. Until next time, your majesty. Pay no mind to the other fools, Andreas. I never do. Ow! At least I would if they stopped stepping on my feet. Watch where you're going. They're fools, Andre. There's no point in trying to teach them anything. I know old John wants you to endure the abbot's shit, but since I take you home, I get the last word. Don't let them run you ragged, boy. It will be fine. I don't want to cause any trouble. That's no way to think about it. You need to stand up for yourself. Gah! Would you please it appears I do need to stand up for myself. I give up. Take me home, Grobian. As you wish, Andreas. Stop poking my feet! Good morning, Ursula. Commander. Time to get up. The Baron, April 1518. Best kid voice. Another day, another few pages for the abbot, and hopefully a few for myself. I need to get across town and head up to the abbey so I can start working the scriptures. The scriptorium. Brother Piero of Verona, artist of Kisaur era. Brother Piero, whatever. Free Empirical City. Okay. I really should clean this up. The Picatrix Key of Solomon, the Heptameron Prior Ferenc giving me all these books to read. What? Good morning, Andreas. Did you sleep well? Quite well, actually, thank you. Oh, I'm so glad to hear it. Anyway, I know you'll be off to the abbey, so I packed you some food. Almond, cheese, and some of the rye you like for the albums. Otto wanted me to ask you to join him for dinner at the abbey. Otto stopped by? Yes, around dawn. Here you are, Andreas. That's too kind of you, Clara. Many thanks. Master Andreas, if it wouldn't be too much trouble, could we... Would it be too much trouble if you paid next month's rent today? And if we raised by 2 groshens? 2 groshens! What do you think I'm made of? I hate to ask, but we're behind on our taxes to the Abbey. 2 months behind. Peter's losing his hair over it, even more than usual, I mean. I suppose that's not out of the question. Yes, I think I can manage. We're so grateful, truly, Andres. I apologize again for asking. It's just awful to be stuck in this position. Our taxes get harder to pay every year. Peter works harder, but it just never seems like enough. St. Luke, bless you for helping us out. Speaking of St. Luke, how is your masterpiece coming along? It's been 2 months now, hasn't it? Slowly, I'm afraid. Most of my days are spent doing work for the Abbey. It's only during the divine office that Prior Ferenc... Ferenc? The divine office that Prior Ferenc allows... Ferenc allows me to work on my masterpiece. A reasonable restriction, but slow going. The city council doesn't require it to become a master. I'm making it mostly to show clients and for my own sake. And yes, when I do finish, I will go back to Nuremberg while I marry and open a workshop of my own. From Nuremberg to university and now traveling the world as an artist. What a life you have ahead of you, Master Andreas. Yes, I suppose it does feel like I'm starting a new chapter in my life after some wandering. It must be rather frightening, starting all over again. I owe it to my family to make something of my life. They helped me even after I dropped out of the university. I can't let them down. I'm sure you make your family proud, Andreas. Anyway, I don't know anything about art, but I've seen you sketching such beautiful things in your little book. Your masterpiece must be wonderful. It is. It's my finest work. Good. It makes me glad to see some confidence in the men around here sometimes. Now I have to get back to my own work. Have a good day at the Abbey, Andreas. And we'll see you after Vespers for supper. Not tonight, but thank you. Klaus Drucker invited me over for supper. Of course. Please say hello to the Druckers for us. Of course. Until later, Clara. Well, goodbye. Andreas! That's it. God bless you, Andreas. Oh, yes, Andreas. This weather's been god-awful. This town's gone to shit in my days. Were things very different when you were young? As different as beer and piss. The old abbot didn't bother us as much as our customs. He didn't mind if we let off a little offering perched to keep the skies clear and the weather's fair. Matthias knew that Christ was in our hearts, even if the white lady's name was on our lips. What sort of old customs? The kind that scared away witches and kept spirits from calling storm clouds over our farms. The saints weren't the first to watch over Tassing. My father knew that. Old Ranning Kemper knew that. What the fuck is going on? The bastard abbot may never like it, but some of us keep traditions alive. I won't mention that to the Abbey. Pah, the Abbey. Perched as hounds take the Abbey. What does that mean? Pagan god of the Alps associated with animals and spinning of wool. She is still invoked by some Christians in Austria, Switzerland, Bavaria, and Swabia. Right. I should go. All right, God bless you. Morning, Andreas. Morning, Big George. How's it going? You working today? Just taking a rest for a bit. Dad's still in the field. He hit a big rock with the plow, and it took me, Lord knows how long to pull it out. You off to the Abbey? Every day but Sunday. Right, thank God for Sundays. Smells like a storm's coming, no? Just smells like fresh alpine air to me. That chicken is a vibe. Look at that guy. He's just sitting there. You've been traveling too much. Where was it you spent your Wanderjahr before you came to Tassing? Wandering years during which a journeyman artist or craftsman travels far and wide to improve their skills. Pick a background. Now, Andreas knows some Italian and French and can reference cultural touchstones from Basel near Bern, Zurich, and Friedberg. Dutch and French. Antwerp. Little Greek and a reference cultural Italy. Sure. Italy. Florence for a while, but then Venice and Milan as well. Italy? No wonder your senses are dull. You've been down there too long. Spend enough time in these mountains and you'll be able to smell a storm coming. How long will it take? 10, 15 years. I don't think I have that long, Big George. What did you do? What did you spend all that time in Italy doing anyway? Other than art, I mean. Pleasures. Art. Art. Other than art, nothing. That's what I was there for. Art is the whole point, Big George. The craft I don't have time for anything else. Oh, sorry I asked. Anyway, I have to get going. George, let's go! Dad's already acting like I'm taking too long, even though I did all the work to get that rock out. See you later, Andres. Until later. Town Commons. Endress Schmidt's smithy. It's so much smaller than the one he uses in the Abbey. Hello, Andreas. Martin, please, can you give me a hand here? What do you want? I'm keeping an eye on him. That looks like a lot of standing there and doing nothing. Martin, for Christ's sakes, help your cousin. Morning, Andreas. Excuse us, one of the fence rails fell and the sheep started hopping it. Is there something I can do to help? Have you ever handled sheep before? Well, no. Then no, but thank you. Christian of you to offer. Oh, look, there's something going on at the Steinauer's place. Who's that on the horse? Looks rich. I don't know, Martin, but Lucky is giving him an earful. Christ, I haven't seen Lucky that worked up since Peter and Clara's wedding when Johann pulled his pants down. Knocked two of my man's teeth out. You don't want to feel the strength behind a stonesman's anger. Do you think he's a noble? He looks really rich. God damn it, Marty, stay out of trouble for once. What, Aunt Hetty? Behave yourself. Don't we have enough to deal with right now? Andreas, if you wouldn't mind moving your skinny little body up the road, we need to get these sheep under control. Of course. See you later. Help your aunt and your cousin, all right? Eat shit, Andreas. Hey. What? Oh, we're on a rail. Ah, that's cool. Alright, so the sheep block the road. This is cool. This is an interesting system. Morning, Andreas. How's it going? Morning, class. Another day at the Abbey, another few hours to work on my masterpiece. Good to hear. You still coming by for supper tonight? Marie and Bert would love to see you. You really need to see the new woodcuts I have for the Italian edition of Till Spiegel, the titular character of a popular 15th century book. Till is a prankster, continually exposing the vices and hypocrisy of others. He's also quite skilled at tricking people into smelling, touching, or eating his excrement. I didn't realize Father Thomas lets you print books in Italian. How far are you into this? Like 21 minutes? It's just been a lot of talking. Come on, Andreas. He's not that strict. I know he's just trying to protect people from witch mania. Oh, God, don't say that, Andreas. We're less than a day's ride from Innsbruck. No need to get people around here all worked about witches again. Chimpkin. Corporal, thank you for the 2 years. 2 of them. 2 years. Holy shit. Thank you for the 2 years, Corporal. Appreciate it. God damn. Besides, don't talk about witches around Father Thomas. Just a bad idea. Good to know. So supper tonight, after Vespers? Of course, thank you. Great, I'll tell Marie and Bert you're coming. See you then. See you later. Lovely haircut, by the way. Handsome, smooch. Thank you. God bless Master Maller. I hope your week is going well. Thank you, Father. It's going quite well. I'm just on my way up the hill to get work. Good, Andreas. I don't recall seeing you at Sunday morning Mass. You understand how important it is for your salvation that you receive Holy Communion, don't you? Yes, I apologize, Father Thomas. I'll make it up to you this Sunday. You don't have to make a promise to me, but our salvation is contingent on the... Oh my, what a blessed day to receive such an illustrious visitor. Master Mailer, this is Lorenz, Baron of Rothvogel, a great lord from the countryside near Worms. Good to see you, Father Thomas. It's nice to be remembered finally. I only wish all your neighbors were so welcoming. Well, yes. What brings you back to our little town? My wife and I were returning from a trip to Venice. We spent a few days in Innsbruck, and it was terribly dull. I mean, it has a certain charm common to these alpine cities, but the place was crawling with nobles for the Emperor's diet. The Emperor? Was he there? Did you see him? Oh, briefly when he was sitting for a portrait at the time. Quite lovely. I didn't want to bother him as a painter. The guy looks like he's wearing a lily pad as a hat. Yeah, basically. It does. Who is the artist, my lord? I'm not sure you know him. Another older man from Nuremberg with enough of a reputation to paint the Emperor. Ah, Albrecht Dürer, well known across the Empire and a legend in our mutual hometown. Ah, you're also from Nuremberg? Interesting. Anyway, my wife wanted to stay a bit longer in Innsbruck, and I decided to ride ahead to make a visit to Kirsau. I heard Father Matthias died shortly after my last visit, of course. A great loss for the Abbey and for us all. Indeed, by good fortune, I recently came across a copy of Historia Tassia he was reading during my last visit. An account of the early history of Tassia at Curacau's previous abbot, Father Matthias, had a hard copy bearing Rogothal gift. Father Matthias was hoping to find a second copy to corroborate the contents of the first. It contains some fascinating details about the history of this place. I'm afraid they might even cause a bit of scandal. Ah, yes. But I must be off. There will be time enough to discuss Tassing's past later. I commissioned a manuscript from the Abbey through Father Gunnar, and I have come to check on its progress. Oh, my lord, if you have come to see your manuscript, you should speak with the young Master Mallow here. This is hitting a certain Holy Roman Empire nerd synapse. That's fair. It is an honor to meet you, my lord. Andreas is a journeyman artist from Nuremberg. For the next few months, he's also helping in the Abbey's scriptorium. Let's get a little definition there. Scriptorium, a room for writing, illustrating, and illuminating manuscripts, though typically associated with monasteries. They have disappeared from all sides of the... Obsidian knows what they're doing, yeah. A Nuremberger artist working in an abbey scriptorium in 1518? Oh, we should talk, Andreas. I must know this story. Of course, my lord, it would be an honor. Wonderful. It's so rare to find someone in the countryside who knows anything about art. Thank you for the introduction, Father Thomas. Come to supper at the abbey tonight. I'm inviting you to the abbot's table. Oh, no. Did the abbot invite me? Oh, don't worry about it, Father. Just showing up after Vespers. What is he going to do? Refuse us? Excellent. We will see you then. McClouse, I'm dismounting. Run ahead of us and take the horses to the Abbey guest house. I'd like to take my time talking with Master Mailer. I'll meet you there. At once, my lord. So then a journeyman from Nuremberg. Forgive me for saying so, but you seem a little too old to not yet be a master. Are you unmarried? No, I'm not married, but in truth I came to my vocation later than my father and brothers. I was in university for a number of years at Erfurt. Erfurt is one of the most populous cities in the empire and is located near its heart. It has been home to a respectable university since 1379. It is a center for humanist thought. Obviously, he didn't put enough Erfurt into college. Puffy shoulder looking frog head. Erfurt, wonderful! The same university as Martin Luther. Have you read his works? Tremendous mind. He says things about the church that should have been said years ago. Might get him into trouble, but he's a brave, brilliant man. Wait, you may have even met him. Did you know? Did you? You must tell me. No, he's a few years ahead of me. Still, his ideas do seem fascinating. I agree wholeheartedly. I simply must meet him if I get the chance. I wonder if the good brothers of the Abbey have heard of him. Perhaps they have even read his list of 95 theses against the church. A list of propositions against the church's practice of selling indulgences for the remission of sin. It was written by 1570 and Martin Luther. Interesting. Father Matthias was not above having a lively debate. I hope Father Gernot does not disappoint in that regard. This man going to get 30 years ward. But enough about Lucifer for now. Tell me about your university studies. Forgive me, Baron, but did you attend university? You seem very well educated. Ah, no, my father is merely wealthy enough to have provided me with all the books and tutors a child could dream of. I love all knowledge, from Aristotle to Cicero to Ficino and Erasmus and everyone in between yet to come. Statesman, scholar, renowned, blah, blah. Okay, too many words, my brain hurts. I may have misjudged the Baron. Seems he is well-read as a university student. In truth, I am simply happy to speak with another well-educated man. Now then, did you earn your doctorate? No, I didn't. Only a master's degree. I started working towards a doctorate, but didn't finish. Oh, that's a shame. Well, what was your area of study? fractured systems of law in the Holy Roman Empire, medicine, theology. You have to understand the church to have a problem with the church. Theology, as odd as that may seem. Not odd at all. It's a good field to study if you want a position in the church. My late uncle was the abbot of Fulda. I spent many hours reading the manuscripts in their library with his permission. He was a pious enough man, I suppose, but he wielded great power from the abbey. You! If I had any faith, I would have prayed you never show your face here again! Curse you, Lorenz Rothvogel! Perched as dogs, tearing you to pieces will be too kind of fate! These rustic communities display a shocking lack of hospitality, don't you think? What was that about? Who knows? By the time I finish guessing, the old crone will probably be dead. Well, what of your early time in university? Every student must study the trivium and quadrivium. The trivium and quadrivium represent the lower and upper divisions of a classic liberal arts university education. Latin, grammar, logic, and rhetoric form the trivium. Arithmetic, geometry, music, and astronomy form the quadrivium. Did you have a favorite subject? I want to be an occultist. I used my access to the university's library to pursue more esoteric interests. Oh, esoteric how? Mystical texts, books on alchemy invoking spirits, divinations. Purely academic, of course. Of course. I started with Ficino's Corpus Hermeticum, and my interest only deepened from there. Italian priest. Compilation of 17 religious and philosophical treatises encompassing the Society and Hermes Church. I'm just playing Google. What am I doing? I'm just playing a Google simulator. Centuries-old text reflects Egyptian, Greek, and Jewish traditions and ideas that were translated into Latin in the late 1850th century by Rosilio. It's crazy. This is crazy. Quite interesting, Andreas. I'll make some time to speak with you more on this topic during my stay. I look forward to it, my lord. And your other studies? Was there anything else you excelled at? Great deal about the constellations, heavenly bodies, and their movements. He's also familiar with various plants and animals for studying his personal experience. I love studying the natural world, my lord, both the heavens above and the wild spaces around us. Formerly, I studied as an astronomy as I could. It's incredible how much we've learned from both the Arabs and the Greeks. True, but even now we continue to discover more about what we can see within celestial sphere. What began as pagan myths to explain our place in this world may help us understand our place in the heavens. And this may seem foolish, but I spent a lot of time in the wilderness learning about plants and animals. Really? Did the libraries of Erfurt not have enough herbals to satisfy your curiosity? Smoke weed. Do not smoke weed. Smoke whatever you want. Don't smoke whatever you want either. Don't listen to the streamers with no... Just don't listen to streamers. Ever. Don't do it. I don't mean to malign our most august Greek and Roman authors, but Der Materia Medica was written before the coming of Christ. Surely there is more that we can learn about plants, insects, and animals by observing them in nature. And beyond that, I simply have a lot of I'll have a love for wild places. Listen to streamers unconditionally register trademark. No. While I do not share your academic interests in nature, I must admit that I sometimes enjoy the solitude of a walk in the woods. Ah, there's the Abbey. I have good memories of this place, and of Father Matthias. I was sad to hear of his passing. How did you come to know him? How did you come to know of Curacao at all? My family has been patrons of Curacao for, I don't know how many generations. Which tier? Which tier? Some years ago, I heard that Curacao still had a wonderful library and artisans. Professional artists have taken our most manuscript production, so I was shocked to find an active scriptorium here. This is as good a place as any to create art. Certainly, though, I'm sure you miss the comforts of Nuremberg, where you're struck in a drafty old abbey like this. I'll get back there soon enough. I'm in no rush. Baron tier patron gets to visit and annoy people on command. How much is that a month, you think? 3 pence? That's good for me, since I still appreciate the abbey's work. I commissioned a manuscript through Father Gernot a year ago. I thought I would stop by and check on the progress. Wait, are you the artist working on it? It's a prayer book with 20 illustrations. I know the work, but no, I do know the artist. The venerable brother Piero. That guy. How venerable. He still has his wits and skills, if that's what concerns you. Brother Piero has an incredible talent with color. Then I very much look forward to seeing it. Meow. Mick Klaus, tend to the horses and the baggage. I'm heading up to the Abbey. Yes, my lord. I gotta get a lozenge when I do this. I'm fucking voice actor extraordinaire. Well, let's not keep the abbot waiting any longer. Nuns. Quite unusual for a Benedictine house to have monks and nuns, even if they are separated. The church closed most of them centuries ago. But then Curacao is the place out of time in more ways than one. Do you know Mother Cecilia? She seemed to recognize you. We are acquainted, yes. Let's leave it at that. Ah, you must be Father Gernot. I'm Lorenz, Baron of... Yes, the Baron of Rothfeld. So wonderful to have you here again. We actually did meet on your last visit. Honestly, I'm really into this, so I'm just going to lurk and play it myself. Have a great one. See you. Ah, if you say so. I'm not good with remembering faces. It's on Game Pass if you have Game Pass. That's how I'm playing it. Please forgive me, my lord, but I wasn't expecting you for another few days. Yes, I know, but I wrote ahead. I just couldn't wait to see my manuscript. I'm sure it's no trouble. But, I mean, it's no trouble. Did you want to see it now? Oh, in a moment. I could do with a bit of refreshment, though. May I grab something from the kitchen? Yeah, certainly, my lord. I will meet you there. Uh-oh. Andreas, I don't know what you were doing with the Baron, but I need you in the scriptorium now. Of course, Father, I'm eager to get to work. Then get to work! Shit, I should have asked him about the advance of the Gernot's, for the Gertner's taxes. Maybe I could just convince Brother Matthias to pay me earlier. Huh. God bless you, Brother Piero. No, wait, it's Master Marler. I thought you couldn't see, Sister Marguerite. During the day, I can see some colors. How did you know it was me? You and Brother Piero both smell of of the pigments you use. But you're taller and have another smell to you, like fish or burned almonds. You can have a stroke. That means you have a stroke. That's old linseed oil, popular amongst Italians, but Brother Piero doesn't use it. I'll ask Sister Gertrude about it. How are Sister Gertrude's herbs coming along? It's too early to tell. Most of them won't be grown until May. Still working with herbs suits me. Have a good day, Sister Marguerite. God bless you, Master Madam. Oh, wait, no, I wanted to look up. Brother Matthias maintains a shrine along with the son and sisters paint badges of pilgrims. God bless you. God bless you, Master Madam. How goes your work at the scriptorium? Could be better. Would it make you happier if I told you Agnes Steinauer received some saffron yesterday? Really? Where'd you hear that? Sister Matilda saw her at the Albans. Maybe you can convince Prior Fernrick to get some for your yellows. Good to know. Are you in need of any herbs and flowers? I could pick you up some on my next trip through the meadow. Oh, don't worry about that. I'll go gather them in the forest later. Until later. Bless you, Andreas. Maybe I'll see you in the shrine of Saint Satya one of these days. Okay. The cloister. Oh, God. Oh, God. Saint Luke, the patron of artists, is the patron of healers. God bless you, Andreas. Brother Florian, how are you? The brothers and sisters are well, so am I. So I am well, thank God. Andreas, have you spoken to Klaus Drucker lately? Yes, quite recently. Why? I believe he may be receiving a medical text from Bologna. Bologna? Bologna? I don't know how it's pronounced in this sense. I'm quite interested in it. Can you read Italian? Ah, no. Little Italian, and my Latin's not as good as I would like. I was hoping Brother Piero could help me with it if he has the time. I'm sure he will make time. He's a patient teacher. That he is. I will see you later, Andres. Until then. Alright, we have to go... What do we have to do? We look at the quests. Interesting. That's the infirmary. The church. God bless you, Andreas. Has your voice yet recovered from Easter Mass? Oh yes, it was a bit of a strain, but a worthy sacrifice. Well, if the Lord could give us his... If the Lord could give us his all on Easter. Exactly. Have a good day in the scriptorium. Have a good day singing. God give you health, Master Maller. Brother Sabat, I'm surprised to see you still here. As am I, but I will be leaving to return to Rome. I and my bishop regret that we would not reciprocate Father Rodolph's generosity earlier. He showed much kindness to our priests in the council of Constance many, many years ago. Will you remain in Rome? That is up to my bishop, but I will miss these mountains in any case. You should travel to Ethiopia, Master Maller, and see the highlands. God has blessed my home with a wondrous beauty. I would love to someday. I'll soon return to Nuremberg and open my workshop. Yes, someday. Until then, if you ever in Rome, I may still be around. I've only made it as far as south of Florence, but I'd like to see Rome. By the way, if you have some time in the next few days, it would be nice to share a meal with you and some of the townsfolk. The townsfolk? I am accustomed to strange looks, especially in rural places like these, but I've had kind words with the baker and his wife. Oh yes, the albums, Ulrich and Gret. I offered to tell a story to the children and their mothers over a meal someday. Gret seemed excited about the idea, but I would be more comfortable if you were there as well. I can certainly make time. Thank you, Andreas. I look forward to it. God give you health. Where am I going? This place is huge. This place is huge. Holy Toledo. I wonder what recipes the brothers have for peas. Animal pens? Cemetery? The abattoir? The shadow of the abattoir? Is this just a trivium game? Good day, Andreas. Dude, this is brutal. A monument to the founder of the abbey. It is fairly recent. The funds were donated by descendants. We should get to work. We should start work. We should really get to work. Ow. Crypt? The foundations of the abbey were built when the Romans occupied this land not long after the death of Christ. These tombs markers go back centuries all the way to the founding of the abbey. Abbot Dietrich, from the heights of Curaçao's power in the 14th century, those days have long passed. A lovely relief of the Virgin and Child. Shame it's hidden down here. That was it? Now what? A secret entrance to the library. I'll have to remember this. Interesting. There's apparently a bear loose. Yeah, so that's crazy. Yeah, I saw it was somewhere else, and then it moved over there. Surprised I didn't get it yet. Someone put in a report, but they can't find it. I kept getting notifications on my No, I saw a video of it. It might be fake. Oh, I made it. Andreas, God bless you. So good to see you. Good morning, Brother Piero. Good to see you as well. I don't like this weather. My bones ache and it means a storm is coming. Big George Gertner says that if you live here 10 or 15 years, you can smell storms coming. Brother Attico has been here more than long enough that we could all smell him coming. Don't forget, Brother Guy. The fate of your youths will be jeered by the aged prophet Elisha outside of Bethel. Mauled by bears, weren't they? She bears. Are you comparing yourself to a prophet, Brother Adok? I am comparing you to an impudent youth whom the Lord in his ineffable wisdom will choose to strike down. Calm yourself, Brother Adolf. You're too sensitive to guys' jokes. I am old, Andreas. Every slight against me stings with the fire of 1,000 wasps. But I will pray to God for the strength to endure this wickedness. Well, everyone seems quite lively. I'm supposing that means Prior Fernek is not overseeing us today. He was here, but then he heard Lorenz Rothvogel had arrived, and he hurried out like a little mouse. Ferenc is so desperate to impress the abbot and nobles like Rothvogel, it's pathetic. You feign kindness to Father Abbot and our prior only to speak about them like this behind their backs. It's shameful. Oh no, Baron Rothvogel, his manuscript. I just realized that he will want to see his manuscript. How silly of me. That's why he's visiting. Perhaps if you were younger and faster, you wouldn't need to worry so much about patrons' visits. Guys, someday you will stand where Piero is, and the young monk will stand where you are now. You weren't there. There was no bear in the town because you weren't there. God. Humph. Anyway, what's the problem? The Baron's just one client. He has to wait like everyone else. Andreas, Baron Rothvogel is not like anyone else. He has powerful friends, including Prince Bishop of Friesing. Curacao is already out of favor. Father Abbot does not want to have to deal with more attention. Well, if Prior Ferenc isn't here, I'm just going to work on my masterpiece until he arrives. Oh, that's right. I need to reference the Indumar manuscript. A prominent family in the Swiss Confederacy in Austria. What do you want, Andreas? A book, the Indumar manuscript. The Book of Hours. Your hair looks messy today. Did you get enough sleep? What do you mean? I mean, did you sleep alone, or... Could I just get the book? Ugh. That's all the way upstairs. Can't you get by without it? I'm sorry, but I really can't. I need to reference it for my work. Really? My feet hurt and the stairs are so steep. I'm just going to ask Illuminata to get it. Sister Illuminata! Andreas needs help finding a book, and I don't know where it is. Andreas, I'd like to borrow the Indumar manuscript, the Book of Hours. Yes, I overheard. Here, please return it promptly. Andreas, may I see how your masterpiece is coming? Of course, your opinion's always welcome. Wow. Yes, the composition is lovely. There is a joyful spirit in your arrangement of the figures. The contrast of colors is also quite nice. Rich and beautiful on their own, but not overpowering the scene. It doesn't feel right. I don't know why. It's an excellent interpretation of someone else's work. What do you mean? It's all my work. My son, you're copying the illustration from the Indumar's manuscript almost exactly. So what's wrong with that? Haven't I improved on it? Aesthetically, yes, it's wonderful, but I fear you have not given much thought to what it represents. It's November. It is November. In November, we show peasants leading the pigs into the forest to forage on acorns before the slaughter. Andreas, the peasants here are no longer allowed to forage acorns in the forest. Many great lords and abbots across the empire have forbidden it, even Father Gonat. What difference does it make? This is the way November is painted. But it is not the way November is. art is illusion, storytelling, but in their sublime form, these images illuminate a path to the truth. It is most important to me that my clients pay me for happy. They won't pay for truth. The technique is all that matters to me, perfecting the craft. Can't that be enough? I think we're going to go money this time. Yes, but with God's grace, the Book of Hours will outlive us all. What will it say to those who see it in a future generation, centuries beyond comprehension? Some will gaze deep into your lines and paint to seek a deeper meaning. What will they find? But you need not listen to my opinions. They're just the thoughts of an old monk. There is no place for the monastic scriptoria anymore. In truth, this room is a place out of time. Why is that? Why has Curacao kept this up for so long? Some people, some places, have a difficult time letting go of the past. I am not among them. The creation of books of art is no longer a province of monasteries, so be it. More people will be able to write, more people will be able to read, and in doing so be brought to the truth. I think there will always be a place for artists like you and Brother Adok. And Brother Guy. It's kind of you to say so, Andreas, but you need not be concerned for me. I have lived a long life, and I'm happy to serve the Lord. When he calls for me, I am ready. Ah, where's the time gone? It's already terce. Monastic hour corresponding to 9 a.m., one of the little hours of prayer. Terce precedes Mass and the chapter meeting. Too much talk. I must ask forgiveness to not honoring the rule. Until later, Andreas. Until later. Uh-oh, that was an occult sign. What's going on in here? Breakfast? Andreas, what was that noise? Oh, I'm sorry, Sister Luna. I knocked a bowl of paint on the floor. But the Prior Ferenc came in, wrote in one of his books, slammed it closed, and left. He was in such a hurry, I don't think he even noticed me. He was slamming books shut. Prior Ferenc should know better than that. Some of these manuscripts are quite delicate. Which is why books should not be taken out of the library unless it's necessary for divine readings or work in the scriptorium. There are a few books I've been wanting to borrow. You can't be serious. You want more books? I thought Prior Ferenc has given you more than enough. I don't know what you're talking about. Andreas, I've had it to wit's end about... Wait, I've had... can't read. Andreas, I have enough wits about me to remember that Prior Ferenc has withdrawn 5 books from the library. Books that I later saw on your desk and later disappeared from the scriptorium entirely. How did you know that? Are you spying us in the scriptorium while we work? No. How do you know so much about where all the books are then? Andreas, I am Curaçao's librarian. It's an important job. My concern for the books does not end at the library door. It does my responsibility. Please understand that. Now, if you'll excuse me... Wait, what's all this fuss about Lorenz Rothvogel? Why is Prior Ferenc so nervous? Lorenz? I don't know what you were familiar with the man who used to be... Lorenz? I don't know... Lorenz, I didn't know you were familiar enough with the man to use his Christian name. Anyway, I have dealt with him personally, but the prior and Father Abbot have. I only know that he's purchased a number of our most valuable manuscripts over the years. And he paid enough to help the Abbey when we needed it. Like what? What did he buy? I can't remember, you know? I have my own responsibilities to attend to. How about this, Andreas? If you help me recover some missing books, I'll tell you what I know about the Baron. Of course, I'll help in any way. Thank you. It's for the good of the Abbey. Or should I begin? Out there, where you and your cohort have carelessly strewn books about the scriptorium, I will tell you what books I'm looking for. Find them and return them to me. The first book is the 2 volumes of the Aeneid. Reddish covers, 14-inch by 10-inch, 3-inch thick. Innsbruck inch or Nuremberg inch? What? Nuremberg inches are What color are the covers again? Reddish. Oh, I know the ones. They're among Piero's favorites. He keeps them by my desk. They are not his to keep? There's a fair amount of wear to these. I hope you don't mind. Those volumes were old even when Piero started to make copies. How long ago was that? 3 years. The Aeneid is not one of my favorite stories, but I understand why it appeals to Piero. Highness chose his duty to the gods over his lover Dido. Do you think Anya's sense of duty appeals to Piero? We all have our vocations, Brother Piero. We all have our vocations. Brother Piero takes his more seriously than most of the others in this abbey. You clearly take your chosen vocation seriously. Andreas, I didn't have a choice in my vocation. Few women do. You're right, of course. I appreciate that you understand how limited our roles and our choices truly are. Even in stories, we are maidens to be rescued and wed, cruel seducers of men, or wizened crones. Like Dido, we ordinary women are merely tools in the tales of men. We can never be protagonists of our own stories. Whack! No woman is exempt from that. From the empress to a nun, it is our lot. I suppose I understand now why you are not fond of the Aeneid. It's fine poetry for men. Now the books, if you please. Thank you. Next, Wretched Gurion. Gurin? This is a printed copy, green cover, diamond pattern. I do not have the size in this ledger, but hopefully the description's enough. I know the one you're talking about, brother. Doc was reading it. The beauty of this book truly belies its ridiculous content. I'm surprised the Abbey owns a copy. We don't. It belongs to Amadea Rosco of Lugano. It is a Venetian edition that is quite valuable. He loaned it to us 5 years ago. It was subsequently lost, and the Abbey has received 3 letters about it. I've certainly seen the brothers enjoying it. That book is not appropriate reading for the Benedictine monks. A baby is sold to pirates, raised as a servant, then lives a life of adventure, wooing princesses and fighting in tournaments. You forgot the best part. In the end, Gurin learns he has royal blood, the son of a duke. He reigns as a king and dies a pious hermit. What's not to love? Benedictines should be dreaming of reconciliation with our Lord, not lusty adventures. Redemption will still be waiting for them when they put down the book. Yes, always, but they still must choose redemption. Should we go on sinning so grace will increase? Of course not. Fantasy leads to temptation. Temptation has led to the downfall of many men and women, and it also leads to the dark side. Sometimes, yes, but the books like this, it's all the same type of fantasy, isn't it? To die better than we are born. And what's the problem with that? Why shouldn't a peasant dream of being a king? There is neither Jew nor Greek, neither slave nor free, neither male nor female, for you are all in Christ Jesus. And yet Paul says the women must obey men. Even the Gospels can't free us from the bondage of our place in life. Paul's words can be hard to recall when you're suffering because of your station in life. That is exactly when his words are most needed. But the book, Andreas, we must return it. Or would you like the abbot to receive a fourth letter? I hate to see the brothers disappointed, but I understand. It's not my goal to deprive the brothers of their joy, but to return Amadeo Rusco's property. The book, please. There is only one book left, then you will be freed from bondage. A dark red cover, 8 inches high, 5 inches across, 2 inches thick. I believe that Brother Guy was reading it. Now that I think about it, Guy has always been guarded about this book like he was hiding it. Very good, please bring it to me. What is this anyway? Huh, maybe I should have learned French at some point. What is this? Why are you asking so many questions? Just give it to me. Why won't you tell me what this book is? Because it's a dangerous book, Andreas Mahler. One of the previous abbot tolerated it in spite of the papal order to destroy it. 3 French bishops condemned the book. All copies were to be burned. Its author shared the same fate. Why? I don't know, Andreas. It isn't my place to question the judgment of one bishop, much less 3. And before you ask, no, I haven't read it, but I know it contains a dialogue between love and reason. So this book is dangerous? When did the bishops condemn it? "200 years ago. Why? Why is it still here? Because Father Matthias loved books, all books. He didn't want to see it destroyed. And he was right to do so. Books shouldn't be destroyed, even if their content is in question. The Holy Church does not share your opinion. It is their law we must contend with, not your emotions." Fumes silently. It is not my place to question the former abbot's decisions, but when Father Gernot learned it was in our possession, he wanted it destroyed. Must the book be destroyed? No one even knows that it's here. Well, I refuse to give it to you if all you're going to do is destroy it. What? Why not? Why are you going to do with it? I'm not sure. I'll hide it. Keep it safe. Give me the book, or our deal is forfeit. I won't tell you anything about Baron Rothvogel. Consider the sound theological reasons for allowing this book to exist. I appeal to your duty as the librarian, and I propose a compromise. I will take the book from the abbey far away. I'll be gone by the time Father Gernot asks about it, and if you like, you could say I stole it. I doubt he'll make a fuss about me stealing a book he wanted destroyed. I don't like this, Andreas. It feels wrong in my heart. It feels right enough in my heart for both of us. What is this? I don't think so. That doesn't even make any sense. What? Consider the theological reasons. More sound than a condemnation for 3 bishops in Paris. Would you consider Albertus Magnus and Thomas Aquinas greater or lesser minds than the Bishop of Paris? What is your arrangement, Dr. Malloy? Both Albertus Magnus and Aquinas recognize the role of the intellect in allowing humans to exercise free will. Aquinas believed that it is ignorance, not knowledge, that leads to the sins of the intellect. Even knowledge of heresy that corrupts teaching of the Holy Church? Are we to believe the bishops of Paris, in comprehending the heresy in this book, lost their knowledge of the gospel? Are we to believe that any falsehood, no matter how alluring and comforting, can withstand the light of truth? Destroying this book will not destroy the idea of heresy. Destroying it will not place our sinners' souls closer to grace, just as reading it will not perch us into the precipice of damnation. I'm trusting you in this, Andreas. Again, against my better judgment, don't make me regret this. Woo! Rare. Let's go. Can I save? I want to save. How do I save? Options. Whew. Well, this is a wordy game. I think I'm gonna continue this. I'm gonna see how my voice holds up, but I think I'm gonna continue this. Oh my god. There's a lot of talking. See you in part 2.